Okay, hi guys, this is another quick tutorial how to make a long-lasting CO2 kit from the Caches technology. The first thing you need to do is choose a plastic box in which you are gonna collect the oxide. Next thing is to measure the deepness of the box, which is 10.5 centimeters or about 4 inches. You need to cut the copper 1 centimeter lower or about ½ inch lower than 10.5 centimeters or 4. Here is the copper foil. You measure it, which is 9 centimeters. Here is 9, here is 18, here is 27, another 9, 18, 27, and mark them. I'm using copper foil about 5 mil thickness. You can use pretty much anything. There is going to be a quick example how to do that with aluminum foil if you want to mix nano coated copper with aluminum foil and cut the slices or strips, let's say, with the scissors, and we will continue to the next level right away. Okay, next step is you need to have a box with water, and what I'm gonna use to clean the copper is muriatic acid. You can use vinegar, any acid-based liquid. I'm going to improvise a little bit something here. So you get your copper strips, which are here. Of course you need to have the safety on, like I'm using gloves and stuff like that. Piece of cloth and wet one piece of rag with the muriatic acid. Kind of inconvenient, but that's the way it is. And start to wipe the copper. You can see right away the oxidation, which is on the top, just simple disappears. And when you see it's nice and clean, this looks okay, drop it in the water to be well washed and prepared for the next level. If you can see here, there is lots of oxidation. As soon as you wipe it with a cloth, with a quote that disappears. Okay, next level is to take a piece of paper, could be used something printed or doesn't really matter, and mark each centimeter of this piece of paper to be able to do next level of it. Kind of boring exercise, but anyway, just to show you what the point of that is. You need to make strips 2 centimeters long, which is this, and cut a strip which is 2 centimeters long, actually wide. I'm wrong. And bend it to a half to become 1 centimeter strip. Something like this. Yeah. So here you will need little bit more complicated equipment. You have your strips. Just to cheat the system, I stick on the 3 places double-sided tape, which will allow me to attach the strip to the copper strip. Of course, the copper is dried, it's supposed to be prepared already. And the other thing I want to do is, because I'm gonna use a standard hot laminating pieces which are letter size, I want to cut about 1 centimeter of the strip, which is gonna be important for later, and of course using the double-sided tape strips inside to stick it to the copper and cut the copper down to size. I already have one more piece prepared, so have one of the strips inside. I'm gonna fit 2 strips together and have it about 2 centimeters inside the laminating pouch with little bit of a space. Little bit more. And run through the laminating machine. I already have done one piece like that. Cut the middle, which is gonna be about 1 centimeter left over. What I do to make my life easier is Once it's done on this side, I flip it on the other side, and the next thing you need to do is cut the top very close to the paper strip, so you should be able to detach the piece from the copper. Of course, takes a little bit of a time, and let me put this on the sides. Like this. So I should be able to give access to it, and as you can see, you have the entire piece laminated, and bare, of course you need to clean this, bare copper piece here at the top, which will give you the opportunity to attach the wires and everything else. Just using a knife, you cut down the extra strip don't worry, the laminating pouch is PET, so this is here is where the sticky tape was, so it's gonna give me a little bit of a hard time to take it off, but basically you get the idea. You have here laminated piece of the copper, and at the meantime you have 3 pieces of copper on the top. I have prepared and cut it down to size aluminum foil, just to show you there is no any difference in the process. Same thing as the copper foil, cut it down to size. You have your pouch ready, fit it inside, leave the distance on the sides, and no difference between the aluminum and the copper foil. You will have 2 strips laminated with aluminum foil to test if there is going to be difference between the aluminum and the copper electrodes. Okay, next step is taking a simple piece of wire and trying to peel the coating of it, and we'll use both pieces for something. I'm trying to keep uncut piece as much as I can, and starting to create small pieces of the shielding of the wire of about 1 centimeter for further use. Further use is going to be, you take the copper sheets you prepared in advance, drill a small hole in one end, a small hole in the other end, and because I'm trying to do it with cheap materials, take a simple wire this is some kind of a piece of network wire. Cut a piece of it, tie a knot on one end and use it. Worked. I would make two, just in case. To make the copper, actually the wire goes through the hole, you add one piece of the insulation, another copper foil, another piece of insulation, another copper foil, another piece of insulation, another copper foil, another piece of insulation, another copper foil, another piece, which will give you the opportunity to have the copper foils on a distance each of other, and they will coat even no matter what without touching each other. And this is the end of it. On the second side, with this I finished my black insulation, so I give a wet wire for the end and finished. Looks like this. You see there is a distance between the copper shields, between the copper sheets, and you end up again with a knot just to keep them together and to be able to nano-coat them separated of each other. So cut it twice. this and use it as is before we continue with the next thing we need to finish. Instead of simple wire, you can use a trimmer, grass trimmer line. There are strings, plastic strings for 3D printer, whatever you can get your hands on. I think the simplest is a wire. Instead of using the insulation, you can try to use straws, which you get in any coffee or McDonald's and so on. The next level of creating something which is connected with is these things, which basically are paper clips soldered on a wire and separated on the same distance as the shielding, the wire shielding. I'm gonna show you how I'm doing this. Basically, you take the wire, you peel, you have it somewhere handy, you get a bunch of paper clips. These are, I don't know, regular paper clips you get for $1 on any dollar store or any probably stationery station or wherever you can get them, and use a soldering iron, which will allow you to have them separated on a distance. I will show you how I do this. It's a fairly simple task. My glasses, of course, and you just simple solder them. I don't know if you can see with the camera. And have them on a distance fairly pretty much the same as the distance from the wires. Just be careful, it's hot when you work with these things, so don't touch it directly with fingers. I know what I'm doing. I have done lots of soldering in my life, so it's not a problem for me. Just be careful to avoid any burns or something like that. And as you can see, you get them line up one next to other, like here, and what you do is here, when you use this with the copper sheets, you clip the paper clips on the copper sheet for further use. What I will try to do is something called positive grounding. I will ground the paper clips, so that way I will have grounding on my copper sheets. Kind of difficult to tie them up all together, but should be okay. And basically You get the idea. You have them separated, clipped, and the paper clips give you the electric connection between all the plates together, and the separation also to have it there. And that's it for now. Next level is nano coating of this material. I'm using KOH and AOH. You can use any method you decide. It's up to you. So we'll see you in the next couple of minutes when I'm doing the nano coating into the plastic bucket, which I did before, and install the copper sheets inside, so I'm able to nano coat them straight up and inside. See you soon. Bye bye.